Okay, in this video, I will show you 5 ways to make cash today. I'm talking about putting actual cash in your pockets. This is good for retirees, senior citizens, those on a limited income, and everybody that maybe would need some cash today to pay a bill or, put gas in their car, something. But let's jump into this. Okay, the very first way to make cash today is I've checked with several different golf courses in my area, and it's a seasonal job. At least where I'm at, most of the country, you don't see golfers in bad weather as far as winter time goes, cold and that type of thing. But in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, these golf courses need someone to mow the lawn, and it's not advantageous for them to hire somebody in a full-time basis to mow the lawn and only for a seasonal work. So a lot of them, at least the ones I spoke to, they'll hire somebody, you know, usually at your leisure, whether it's first thing in the morning or in the evening, to mow the lawn, and they'll pay you. These companies that I talk to, these golf courses, they'll pay you cash. Obviously, you'll have to, do the taxes with that, but they'll pay you cash, and they're more than happy to do that because they're not in a situation to hire somebody on a full-time basis, and they can't you know there's such a big turnover that they can't keep the same people doing the same uh, job all the time, and it's hard to keep anybody for a long-term basis. So that'll put cash in your pocket. You can go out and check um, with your area, your neighborhood, or your wherever golf courses. That'll help you out in that situation. Now, stick around to the end because this one actually will put cash in your pocket. So that one too. But I'm just saying, there's really no legwork involved. I mean, as far as going up to talking to people and that type of thing. Um, yeah, the next one is if you have a vehicle. Um, this one works well. I know I did it when I was younger, and this is way before social media and any type of thing like that. But you can post things on Facebook. What I used to do is I would go into, a wealthier neighborhood, and I would start knocking on doors. Hey, um, when I was 16, 17 years old, is there something, can I wash your windows or change a light bulb or, pick things up in the yard or clean the garage or these things? And they were more than happy, to do that. You might have to go in the evening. Nowadays, everybody seems to work. It's tough. Everybody's got Ring cameras and all the rest of that, but you could probably work that out. You don't need a lot. If you need cash today to buy groceries, put gas in your car, or, start a business, you know, that type of thing. Sure. Whatever they want it done. I mean, you can say, hey, I'll do this X amount of dollars, give me cash for it. People are more than happy to do that. Now, I'm saying, wealthier areas because they have cash, you know, able to, give you some, whatever they might have in their wallet or whatever. If you go into, an area where it might be working class or lower income, obviously people would love to have their jobs done, but they don't have any money to give you. I remember I mean, I've been to several different countries, and to see these people are the poorest of the poor, right? I mean, you drive through these neighborhoods on a bus to go into, a gated community, and it's all luxury, right? I mean, they got all the food, I mean, the accommodations, but right outside the door, there's people that are struggling, right? But you can't go on a corner over there, even put up a sign, I'm homeless, I need food. Nobody has any money, right? But here in our country, you can stand on the corner, you can knock on somebody's door, look at man, and $5 and I can clean that window or pick up your yard or whatever the case may be. Somebody has money for that. These are the things that if you need cash today, I'm not saying these are a long-term situation. You could go out and get your builder's license and start doing it that way and start grassroots with no money, right? And then if you, wanted to, you could build up flyers or put a Facebook ads or whatever you want to do. All that stuff costs money. I'm just talking about get out, you know, drive to an area, walk to an area, and start, putting cash in your pocket. So that's number two. Number three, this might seem off the board a little bit, but it'll still get you cash today. I mean, serious, not serious cash, but if you needed $100 today, you can go to your area plasma donation center. I know the city I am, there's probably 6 or 7 of them, right? And I know when you go in there and you fill out, the process, they got to make sure that you don't have any diseases or whatever else. But once they do your plasma, I think it takes about an hour. I've never done it. I've just known people that needed cash today. The first time you go there, they give you $100. You can go once or twice a week. I think it's anywhere from $50 to $75. Some people, they need to put gas in their car for that day to go to work. Some people need some groceries. Some people, whatever their bill, they got it, whatever it is. If they need $100 today, if they need 50, 75, some people go twice a week. I've known people that I run into, first time I said, what is that place? They told me, hey, you can go in there and use my referral and I'll get paid if you go in there and use my name. So if you referred people to this places, you can make money that way too. But they told me, yeah, you go in there and they take your blood and, put it back in. They just take the plasma back out. And I don't know exactly how it works. I just know that if you needed cash today, that's number 3. You could do that. Number 4, you can sell your items. I mean, I know this is probably circulated through the internet, but anything you have around the house to sell, you can put it on Facebook or go to the pawn shop. You're probably going to get reduced, whatever it is. If it's a power tool or, they're only going to give you a few cents on the dollar. But if you needed cash today and all your items that you'd want to get rid of that has been sitting around collecting dust that you never, I look at it, if I haven't used it in a year or two, unless it's something major expense, I usually get rid of it. Okay. My wife's a different story, but I don't keep it around that long. It just takes up space and I don't need it. So I either give it away or sell it. But if you needed cash today, you could take an item, put it on Facebook and sell it, whether it's a couch or, clothing don't sell, maybe shoes or tools or anything like that. You can get that cash today for that, or within a day or two, you're going to get cash in your pocket for that. I know a lot of times when I was younger, I would go to a pawn shop and I would buy a used tool, which they try to get top dollar out of it. But I mean, I know, funny story real quick. We were stopped at a pawn shop because we needed a certain tool when I was, I don't know, I was probably 20, 21. And the guy that I was with, somebody came up to him and said, man, they got this power tool saw in there. I can get you for $5. Just meet me on the back end of the, the building, and I'll come out the back end and, just give me the $5 and I'll bring the saw to you. And you guys thought, hey, that's a great deal, man. I could use a Milwaukee saw. So he gave the guy $5 and we waited out in the back door. Never came. Went out the front door, probably. Anyways, so you can sell your items at the pawn shop or put them on Facebook Marketplace, that type of thing. That's number 4. And number 5 is if you're retired, if you can drive for a ride share, Uber or Lyft. You can get out in the morning before you had to go to work, and 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get out there and drive a few rides, and you got make $25, $50 or whatever it is. I'm saying, as soon as you're done, you cash out, get the money, put it in your pocket, and you put gas in your car, pay a bill, give the wife some money for groceries, or you go buy whatever you needed money for. That's quick. You have to, go through the process. It might take you the time to, if you had an older vehicle, to get that, um, looked at. I think it's so many years. Yeah, I don't know. So many years old car. And then you have to do a background check. If you can pass all them, if you're a senior or a retired person and you need to pay an electric bill this week, or you need groceries and you had a vehicle that met the standards, you could sign up within a day or two, or how long it takes them to get your process all done, and start making money that day and put cash in your pocket that day. Go to your bank or your debit card or whatever, and get cash out, and you're good to go. So yeah, so I hope them items help you in your situation. I know none of these are long term, that you could actually build a business around, or even as an actual income. Maybe rideshare, or building a business where you do handyman jobs. Probably that you could. I don't know about donating plasma, or if you run out of stuff in your house to sell. Obviously, that's not a long-term situation. Maybe you could get a job at the golf course, a permanent job there, doing, working in the pro shop, or cleaning the building, or working in the restaurants, or whatever they have there. You could probably do that. But I'm just talking about things that you can earn cash on the spot, right? Some, like going out and knocking on doors, or Facebook, or rideshare. As long as things are all situated and loaded up, you can make the cash today. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm not sending you out to the internet and watching videos, or writing, building websites. Things are going to take a long time. These are things you can do today, especially the plasma stuff. You get a ride down there, you can have the $100 put in your pocket that same day within a few hours. So hope you guys found some interest and found some value in this video. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.